Good morning, Ada. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time early this morning. I have a special visitor with us, so thank you for your patience there. So you are a passionate biomedical scientist. You have got an amazing career, to be quite honest with you, which I will let you explain to the audience. But I guess I really wanted to connect with you and hear your journey, considering that I have probably been working or known you for quite a while now. If you could tell us and explain your journey, where you started back in the UK, well, originally from Abu Dhabi, and now bringing yourself back to look for work in the UAE.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Trisha, for such an amazing opportunity. It was lovely connecting with you from the start of my journey. My name is Aida Noor. I'm a biomedical scientist. Where do I start with qualifications? I had an undergraduate degree in biochemistry, master's in biomedical science, postgraduate certificate in healthcare management, and recently I've studied digital health, trying to be up to date, and the studying continues. So I was working in infection sciences, where I got registered as a biomedical scientist, microbiology. I've moved from the UAE. I was born and bred in the UAE. Then I've moved to UK for all these studies, and I've worked for several years. And last year I decided, I've ticked all the boxes in the UK in terms of career, life, and I decided, okay, it's time for the next move. And actually I was feeling homesick. I really wanted to go back to the UAE, plus the weather, the COVID, a combination of reasons, which really made me think, okay, what am I waiting for? So I've taken the leap. I've resigned end of last year. It was a comfortable job. It was a fantastic career. Anyone else would think, oh, you're crazy. Why are you doing what you're doing? But it's a belief that I had that I need to take that step. By end of January, it was perfect timing with Arab Health. And I'm here now in the UAE. I'm still in transition, but I'm grateful for all the opportunities that are out there. The digital space are making life so much easier. I've connected with you last year, beginning of last year, I think around April time, where I just did a search, intensive search, and I came across you, and I was like, right, Trisha, this is me. And I was ever so grateful, because you're an amazing career coach. And what I love that you've got a medical background. So you're a nurse, so you understand how we think. So that really helped. And you made life easier for me, because this is another point that I really love is when you give the experts, if you're going through a job change or a job, job hunting, you need a career consultant, 100%. Even in your career, you need a mentor, because they know the job market very well. So that part, I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't have your support from the beginning, because you know the market in and out. For us, we are just in our own world. So I'm grateful for that, because CV, LinkedIn, emphasizing the importance of networking. And you can network while you're back in the UK. So I remember I was on LinkedIn. I joined 2019, which is fairly late. I didn't know LinkedIn was there before. And I remember around May time, following your talks again, be available use the digital spaces. And I was very lucky. I was active on social media anyway from before that, because I saw the benefits of it. There was no fear, because yes, it's a free service, but like anything in life, you have to use your brain. You be selective what you share, selective on what you read. And since that time, I decided, okay, I'm gonna dive into LinkedIn. And it was the best thing as well, because it is a social platform where all the professionals are there. You share knowledge, you learn, you teach, you be inspired. And it helped me a lot as well with networking before I came to the UAE. And also you learn from everyone who's there. It gives you an idea on about the job market. It gives you an idea about your sector. And I was very lucky. The healthcare sector was, going from strength to strength in the UAE.
Fantastic. And Ada, I would love to touch on your journey. So, for example, what were the steps that you put in place before you came to Dubai? Visa requirements maybe, or accommodation? What did you research and implemented? And I've just got my phone for the minute. I'm just, yeah.
Fortunately, I don't have a visa restriction in terms of applying for a visa, being a British citizen. But obviously, you only have you can have up to 3 months, I think. I'm not sure. So initially, I decided 1 month, and I can extend it and so on. So that was not a problem. Again, I'm actually a search freak, so I search everything, Googling everything. So I did look for accommodation. I've got family here, but I had a personal view that if I give my attention 100%, because it was very difficult for me being in a full-time job and working in a lab during COVID, all that. So I thought, okay, at least dedicate a couple of weeks of just head down, and just that will be my main focus. So I didn't have a problem with that. Again, everything's online. You can negotiate. Fortunately, I have family here, so accommodation, I didn't struggle with that. The availability of all the information online is fantastic. And you make more connections as well when you're here, so you get better deals as well, like renting a car and so on.
Absolutely, yes, I think you're right there, because otherwise it just saps your wallet. I think it's very easy in Dubai if you don't research. So that's great.
Yes,
and I know that you have been at a lot of networking events. Do you think that it's paid off? Have you gained any valuable insights from connecting with people rather than just on LinkedIn?
I've actually shared an article regarding this, and I'm going to share more. I'm quite active on writing because I can speak. In-person networking really, really helps, because I had virtual meetings before, but in person, I was actually reflecting on a few days ago. When you're having a virtual meeting, it's very easy to get distracted. But when you meet somebody personally, you've got the full attention. And plus, we're human beings, and post-pandemic as well, that kind of, we're hungry for that interaction. So it was very important, because you don't just meet one person will introduce you to someone else, and people want to network. People are friendly, are happy, and post-pandemic as well. So it's loads of factors that led to that. But personally, in-person networking, you get the full attention of the person. It's like a domino effect, if that's a correct. One person connects you to another, and you get more information, not just from that one particular person, from everybody. So for me, I personally benefited from it. Obviously, I didn't get yet anything now, but at least you have an idea on what's going on around you. You get the impression of, okay, is it, am I going the right direction, or am I going the wrong direction? And it will help you even more planning your future. So, okay, somebody might say, oh, but I'm too shy, and I didn't know anybody when I went there. I knew few individuals, but I didn't know anyone. When I went to Arab Health, I didn't know anyone. But then you meet people, you make new friends, new connections. You just have to be brave, open, know who you are meeting. So I did know the individuals before I went there. Come on, you've got your phone, you can always check. You can always match the face with the name. But honestly, you have to have a plan before I did have a plan. And I remember listening to one of your talks when you said, have a plan. Yeah, you need to have a plan. And it becomes a habit. It becomes practice. You have to just go out there and do it, because it's not going to come to you. So networking, really, really, there's huge benefits. Attending workshops. You have to go out there. You need to make the effort. And I remember you said you need to invest. Yes, some of them you have to pay. But if you add up the things that you can spend shopping, it's the same thing, maybe it's cheaper. So you really need to have that mindset of that you are investing in your future.
Absolutely. And I would like, your experience, or what are you doing when you're meeting people? Obviously, when you're going to all of these networking events, how are you keeping people's contacts or records, or how are you sort of keeping on track to then follow up post-event?
The good thing is you have your LinkedIn. Apparently there's a QR code, so you connect straight away. But I think it's very important that you give them the full attention, because I remember you mentioned end up with so many cards when you go home. So remembering who you connected with and what that person does, very important. So once you have that card, remember who that person is. So I used to make sure once I go home that I end up with a follow-up email, thanking them for inspiring, which is true, is from the bottom of my heart, and to keep that connection going. And then I think that will keep, you will remember who you connected with, because you made that effort, acknowledging the person, what they do, and, keep that connection from then on. So follow-up email is very, very important, personal. And I remember you mentioned that follow up after that with an email, so rather than messaging them. So I used to go on the LinkedIn and find the email and then send from there. So at least, and I would say 90% will respond, because showing appreciation goes a long way. And I think it's a good way to appreciate people. I like doing that. I like showing appreciation, because these people, they gave their time, they shared their knowledge. I think it's very important that you don't just turn up and go. Then you're not going to benefit, honestly. There's no need. And asking questions, I love asking questions. I used to make sure that I would at least say thank you or ask a question. Participation is very important in any workshop, no matter how silly, because I do feel shy when I step up and stand in front of the mic. But one thing I've learned is practice makes perfect. So the more you practice, the more you become confident, the more it becomes spontaneous, that you can just come up with any question or suggestion or ideas. So for me, I'm learning as I'm going right now. I'm sorry.
I have one hungry or unsettled little girl, so I might leave it with you, and either A, we can come back for a recording, or B, we can you can give us some final tips in closing.
I will do the tips, because I respect that you've got a very busy schedule. So I can do the closing tips, because I don't have much to share. I'm still in the making right now. But I truly believe sharing the experience might give, you don't have to wait until you get to your target. It's very important to, okay, I can start from there. And sticking it on my LinkedIn at least shows, like, guys, I'm not ashamed, I'm still jobless. But it's nothing wrong with that. So I can go for that if
yeah, that's fine. Just, I guess, like, what have you done, as in so far that maybe hasn't worked, or perhaps, you're following up leads that you're trying. Just, any piece of advice that you could give others, if you could maybe do your journey again, or, I mean, you're still in the early phases, I guess, sort of, halfway through. And of course, I would love to have you on when you do find job success.
So what would be the question? What would you like me to say?
Anything, as in just maybe in closing, some final steps that you would encourage people who would be moving to the UAE to follow.
I will reflect on just my experience, because I'm still in the job hunting process. But if I would share a tip or a lesson, I would say, if you want to relocate, you have to come and visit first. You have to connect physically with the people. You have to, before you even come, try and connect and introduce yourself, and just try and expand your network before you relocate or even come for an initial visit. Because being here and seeing and talking and connecting with the people physically, it will make a big difference. I think that's more important than applying from where you are or even when you arrive. Like reflecting now, if I was just solely thinking of, or just applying and not going out or trying, I don't think I would have at least understood what opportunities that are out there, or even thinking of what direction I would like to go to. So if I would give an advice, yes, make a plan, connect digitally before you come. And once you come here, make sure that you connect. Time it with networking events, attending talks. Like, for example, I was fortunate that Expo had a health and wellness week following Arab Health. So that expanded the networking for me. But don't just go the old way of just looking for a job. You might be lucky. Some people are very lucky, they will find, but it depends. I think the job market has changed now, and I'm getting the impression is more like try before you buy now. So that's the I might be wrong, but that's the impression that I'm getting now. So try and invest and make a plan, and just physically come and do it. Personally, that's my personal opinion. Hopefully it will be a fantastic success, but I'm very, very positive, because I always believe if you keep aiming, you will hit the target.
Absolutely. I love your optimistic attitude, and I appreciate your patience with my little one on the call. I will say thank you so much for now. And next time when you have a job, I'll have my camera on and we'll be sharing your success story for the rest of our audience.
Absolutely. I'd like to take this opportunity for thanking you for being part of your journey, my journey. You're still part of my journey, because
Yes,
I keep updating you. So this is another thing. Keep in touch with your career coach. Don't disconnect once you relocate, because I just think it's very important they are part of your journey. You need a career coach anyway, along the way. This is another lesson I've learned, because you guys are a great help, and you know the job market in and out. So
fantastic. Thank you so much, my dear. I will be sure to keep in touch, and looking forward to the next call.
Thank you so much.
Okay, take care.
Thank you so much. Take
God
care.
bless.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a good
Bye.
day. Bye.